Brosplay!
Yeah, to finish what I was saying there, the reason why I leave a lot of the cringy nonsense up on the channel is because I want people to see the progression, and I want them to know that we didn't just start with the kind of synergy that we have now.
Definitely not. It was a learned thing.
Because there's a huge, like, what we used to do, and I think a big part of it was me being in the wrong kind of headspace, but you would say something, and I'm so focused on what I want to present that I'm not listening to you, which is really frustrating to watch. But
yeah, it feels very non-cohesive.
yeah, and it's also like things like right there. In the past, I would have disregarded what you said. Oh my.
It doesn't know which way is up. It's actually pretty impressive that it was going to flip upside down for when we went upside down.
Yeah, I would have disregarded what you said and then kept on my topic because I knew I would lose it. And now I'm getting a lot better at being able to like, remember what I was trying to say, but also being open enough to just say like, what was I saying? Instead of treating this like a fucking radio show without...
Yeah, no one's infallible.
Well, this also, we kind of started with this idea of like pleasing people, and now we found that it's way better as a creator to do what you love, because every creator goes through a wall. Every creator hits a wall. Whether they're telling you about it or not, they are definitely hitting a creative wall, and you might even notice it. You might start seeing like some creators just like goes for a year and makes top 10 videos, and each one is a separate idea, and then for like 2 or 3 months you notice that all their top 10s are kind of just iterative, where it's like things you won't believe, things you never knew, and things that are hard to understand or something like that, and you're like, what's
the difference between all this
what's
shit?
going on here? That they're probably hit a creative wall, and their job now is to do this creative thing, and they don't have ideas, so they kind of fill the space while they come up with better ideas. That's why it's important to love what you do as a creator, because what we found here is really sustainable. I mean, like, this idea of doing Let's Plays is essentially as sustainable as long as the two of us want to do it. That's pretty much like the only thing that's going to stop this, is you and I becoming not interested. Other than that, there's no end to the games that we can play, and each game we play can have an unbelievable amount of time. And we're not that kind of group that's like, once we've done the episode, or once we've done a playthrough, it's done. We've played Shovel Knight twice, and we're planning on playing it at least two more times. Because now I have it on PS4, so we'll play another one with you. You'll play Shovel Knight the whole time, and maybe you'll play Plague Knight the whole time. I'm gonna fuck.
We'll see what happens. Like you said, it doesn't really matter.
Like H3 has talked about the wall, that they started when there was a crazy amount of cringy content to make fun of, and now they've kind of played out a lot of the genres, and they're kind of out of shit. And they've even said it. They're like, yeah, we get it. Like, we get it when the people were like, what's this? They did like an all gold products video, and all like the like a bunch of challenge videos and stuff like that, and people were saying shit about it, and they're like, we get it. Like, we wish that the field, it was an empty field for us to graze in, but it's not anymore. Like, we've used up a lot of our ideas, and now like we don't want to keep doing the same nonsense. So
yeah, it's hard when you're in a field that involves research and compilation of different ideas. It's not easy to pump out content, whereas for us, we get together and mostly all we have to do is sort of like sharpen the blade by hanging out.
Well, right now, like, all we're doing is like, right now, like, we're probably like the low end of our game in this month because I'm sick, and even now I feel great about this show. I feel great about doing it, and even before, I used to get really, like, I would kind of not do well because I was worried about stuff outside of the show, and it's just there's a lot going on right now.
There is really a lot going on right now, and they just sounded an alarm.
And
more is going on.
Excuse me. Yeah, I used to kind of, I don't know, dilute the show because I was so concerned about things going on outside of work, or at work, or whatever it was. I don't give a fuck. No, I
Dilute
just
the show, eh?
dilute. Yes, like anytime you hear me on the show in the past, where you're saying something and I'm like, yeah,
It's because your mind wasn't there.
I'm not. I wasn't there. I was focused on something else. I get worried about stuff that I shouldn't worry about in the moment. It's I've never been properly diagnosed, but I'm fairly certain I have chronic anxiety. I go through anxious bouts. It's kind of an up and down thing. Like I'll have like super confident weeks and then really like anxious, paranoid weeks. And I found one of the best things was just talking about it. back when we were doing, the fuck were we playing?
Holy
It was a long ass
shit.
time ago, but I can't remember what we were playing. But it might have been around like the Far Cry 3,
That
original
era?
Far Cry 3, because we're gonna go do that again. But around that time, I was worried about stupid shit. Like I was like not even gonna affect the day. Like it had nothing to do with that day. Like nothing. I couldn't do anything about it on the day we were recording. It wasn't going to affect me on the day of recording, and yet it affected my ability to do the to do the show.
All it has to do is affect your mindset,
Yeah,
right? And then
headspace is very important.
it just seeps its way in.
Yeah,
Dirty bastards seeping their way in.
and a big part of it. This is kind of a weird topic. It's interesting. I kind of started off trying to be like other YouTubers and realized that I'm not like other YouTubers. I can't stand that like make sure you subscribe mentality.
Hey guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to.
The comment one bothers me the most because the other two kind of make sense, but to tell somebody to comment just doesn't.
Unless you're asking them a question, like, hey, leave a comment saying what you like what you wanna.
But even then, like asking someone to say something is like in class when you're just like, and you, what do you have to say about this thing?
Well, yeah, but that's what Wisecrack does with their Earthling Cinema, right? They say like, put in the comments what TV shows or movies you would like to see. So then they can go, okay, well, everyone wants to see Aladdin, so let's do Aladdin.
What I mean is, I just don't like it when they tell you to do it. I like it how like Philip DeFranco does a lot of stuff that I disagree with, but as far as his practices on YouTube, but I do really like how he says, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this, instead of saying like, tell me what you have to say about this.
Yeah, well, that I guess it's the difference between asking and telling, right?
Yeah. No, it's just like subscribe for more, as though subscribing is going to generate more content. That's just not how it works.
So that's
Subscribe to find out about more.
yeah, like in a very minor way. You know, if you have more subscribers, you're more likely to make content, maybe.
No.
But even then, not really.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't reward a content creator with subscription. The subscription is about following them. There's a little bell symbol next to the subscribe thing where you can show me all notifications for this channel. And I think I have one person on there, and it's Russian Badger, because I just like unquestionably love his content. I don't give a shit what he's doing. I just want to watch him. So that's the one guy that's like, when it comes out, I'm immediate. Like I'm in the first like 1,000 people who watch it because I'm always on YouTube, and I fucking love his content. While as I've belled people like wow.
Yeah, we were edging like a mad cunt there. That was close.
Edgin.
I was surprised we made that one. That bridge, honestly, if this was the city I lived in, I'm sure you'd always get complaints. You'd be like, "Oh, that bridge is always bad on my car. It fucks up my axles."
This bridge is constantly making me ride on one front wheel.
Well, I guess I took that bridge at like 150 kilometers an
you
hour,
did.
so it's like not really their fault.
But yeah, I belled to, I really hate how it's called that, but anyway, I belled to Super Mega, who is also a Let's Play channel that I'm very inspired by. But the problem is that I like to watch long form content like that in long bursts. So I don't really want to I don't need to be notified every time a new episode comes out. I'm going to come back in like 4 or 5 days, and then I'm going to watch everything they've made all at once
For those days.
So putting a bell on them just didn't make sense. While as Russian Badger will make one video every 3 or 4 days or a week, so it makes sense. I can digest that kind of content in that time. While as if you like, if you bell Game Grumps, you're gonna get like 4 notifications a day, which is just too much.
Yeah, that's way too much.
They're a full production group. Like they have like a building.
That is really crazy.
Yeah, so like it's just not practical to bell a group that makes so much content because you can come back. While as I think the bell kind of encourages inconsistency. Like I would bell JonTron because he makes a video every like 8 months.
Yeah, I guess that is a good way to do it.
But he's a good example of a successful YouTuber with no schedule. That guy has like he's so inconsistent that he even makes jokes about it. He was introduced at a panel as sometimes an upload every month John, or it's like John sometimes an upload every 8 months Jafari. Like even he thinks it's funny. Like he even mentions it. He's like, yeah, I'm working on like a really long ass thing, and I'm sorry, and there's not going to be very much content, but it's something that I'm really happy about. Good
yes, yes, that was the best bounce.
I think we've watched one Starcade together, right?
Just the one, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those things where he mentioned it when he was working on it and said, hey guys, sorry, the content's going to be only Star Wars, and it's gonna be very few episodes over a long period of time. It's an opportunity that I've wanted to take for a really long time, and I'm super happy about it. But then afterwards, I heard that he didn't like it, and I think it's for that reason. He spent too much time on it, or maybe he built it up too much, or I don't know. It's really dangerous making content about something that is super popular like Star Wars, because people have expectations, and fanboys get really upset about when you say certain shit. Like,
yeah, people get so mad.
There's certain games that have such intense fan bases that there are YouTubers who actually lose subscribers for saying shit.
Really?
Like I heard, and I haven't confirmed this, but I've heard that what's his name? Not Pro Jared. I've heard that the completionist said some shit about a game and immediately lost several thousand subscribers.
What?
Yeah.
Holy.
There are channels dedicated to the death of channels. It's pretty fucked up.
Really?
Yeah. They just watch the subscriber count.
That is really fucked up.
Yeah. It's funny how there are people who can make more accurate subscriber counts than YouTube.
How does it even work?
I don't know how it works, but it's like a real time, like up to date subscriber feed.
Yeah, it's weird that they would be able to get that information better than YouTube.
I guess it's because YouTube's so big. They just have so many things going.
Yeah, fuck. That's actually so crazy.
Yeah.
People can outcompete YouTube on that one thing.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of like that. Nice. What's up with fences in this playthrough?
I don't know. They just all of a sudden went haywire.
I think it's like I was watching an interesting Jim Sterling piece where he was talking about how I think it's Capcom who does Resident Evil. They've been innovating unnecessarily. Like I guess they thought that people weren't gonna like their content even though people loved it, so they changed their content, like their games, drastically, and people didn't like it. It was like one of those like focus group kind of things where it was good for many, great for no one. so he's excited about the new Resident Evil 7 because it feels like they've actually just made a stance and said this is the game we're making, instead of making these games that kind of widely barely appeal to everyone.
Yeah, the wide, low appeal just never makes any sense, I find.
Mm-hmm. Well, then they also thought that because when their massive success with Resident Evil 4, because that was a huge change up to the formula, because they used to do the fixed camera angles, and then 4 was the first game with the over the shoulder.
Oh,
and
right,
so that was widely successful, or hugely successful. So they thought, well, we changed it up and it did well, so let's change it up again. But you shouldn't innovate for innovation's sake. Plus, innovation implies progress or a good change, but it's not actually a good change. Innovation is just changing things.
Yeah, change for the sake of changing things is not good.
Dude, you always die in the tank. What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I always die like to the tank?
No, that's I used to be in a Battlefield Bad Company 2 clan.
Oh, really?
And
what was that called? Murder
Inc.
Murder Inc.
Yeah. and we or MDR. Actually, I actually have a video on a different channel up somewhere.
It's a different channel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I've seen that video.
It's fucking great.
What's it called? Shenanigans with Murder Inc.?
I don't think so. No, Shenanigans was that video that came out right after the game came out. Someone else made that. Actually, well, no, it was like, I don't know, I can't remember what it was called, but I'll find it one day. Our rule was that you never leave you never get out of a tank when it's about to die, because people will goof you on that. They'll whoa.
Yeah, well, because we blew up that super gun, so that must be where she is.
There's very rarely cinematics in this game.
Pretty sure there was one after the last ace capture too.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the cinematics because each ace represents like a quarter of the game essentially, right?
Oh, so what are we, halfway?
Yeah.
Wow, halfway on episode 26. This is gonna be a 50 episode.
There's a lot more legwork at the start.
Our early episodes were shorter, so it'll be it would probably be more like 40.
But still, yeah, I like how they do this because they try and present the whole game through this lens of the media. I mean, she looks terrible.
Yeah, she looks terrible for an. You know, they put that mask on her so they didn't have to animate her face.
Yeah, and the way her mouth is moving. Oh my god, it's so lazy.
But yeah, we had a rule where you stay in the tank and you die with it, because it's only one ticket that you're losing by dying, and people would do that where they would do enough damage to you to make you think that the tank was gonna die, and then they would jump in, heal it, and have a tank.
They would heal it up.
And since it was usually balanced out for each team to have a certain number of tanks, if they take yours, now suddenly they have 2 or 3. So now they outgun you in tanks, and the clan matches were fucking crazy, dude.
That is really interesting. I like when you have to start thinking of high level decisions like that. Either that or get out and blow the tank up, right? Because you sometimes have that option.
Yeah, that's possible. The problem is, like, they'd be waiting for you to get out. So they would just blast you. Yeah. But that was an interesting game for clan matches. I would be interested to get into I really want to find some people who want to play Rainbow Six Siege, because I play it constantly, silently. Like, nobody uses microphones.
Really?
Yeah. And the other day I was watching this dude, because when you die, you're in support mode, so you watch the rest of your team play. And this dude doesn't have a mic in, and he's trying to communicate to somebody to put a breaching charge on the wall, and he's doing this, like, knifing thing in the air that kind of, like, implies, like, look at me. But the other guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and I'm just sitting there, like, yelling at this TV. I'm like, you don't have a mic. Do not be mad at people because you can't communicate.
Yeah, well, just don't try to communicate if you don't have a microphone.
Well, there's a simple mechanic in that game where you can just put down, like, you can mark one spot, and it stays there for, like, 3 seconds. And it's useful for, like, shit, they're over here. Or, do a thing on this wall. But if it doesn't work, the guy just kept going. Like, he spent, like, more than a minute. And
that's prep time. You, like, need that time.
Well, the preparation phase is 45 seconds, and then the actual game is, like, 3 minutes or something like that. So when you're spending 30 seconds to a minute telling somebody to do something, you're wasting more than a third of the time you have to attack the objective. So that's a huge amount of time to waste.
Yeah, well, that's just really fucking stupid. The game only lasts 3 minutes?
And he was playing a fucking breaching character, too. And I'm like, put your own breach on the fucking wall, dude. Come on.
Just do it. Yeah, that's just him wanting to, like, have everything. He wants to not have to wear a headset and still be able to get the communication done.
Yeah.
Which is, it's just not.
Like, I know what I'm getting when I go into a casual match with no microphone. Like, I'm going into this. It's more like an arcade version of this game. While I was like, you go into ranked, and most people have mics on, which is fun.
That's pretty cool, actually.
And the great thing about ranked is that you have to be level 25, which means people have a certain understanding of how the game works.
Yeah, basic understanding.
Oh, I should do that. Because there's a free weekend right now, and it's causing the matchmaking to be all fucked. I should do ranked, because no one's playing ranked right now. Yeah. They're all newbies.
And they're not allowed.
Oh, even. Mitch is a smart kid.
Surprised you didn't think about that before.
I don't think about things until I say them out loud. Yeah.
It's too late.
It's a problem.
Well, that's all right. That's perfect. It's super perfect.
Are you calling me perfect?
No, just that idea.
I'm not perfect?
Well, not anymore.
Dude.
Not anymore.
Dude, only real soldiers need apply.
Apparently.
I love that. English is great.
Only real soldiers.
Only read zone. Need to apply. Knock out everything with your path and light the dome. And watch them to 12-7 anti-rifle.
Anti-armor rifle. I like that.
I love how there's certain things. It's like you would never measure.
Look, they parked my car.
A tank.
They parked my car for me.
That's adorable. What is this fucking?
And they even fixed it up.
What is this? Grand Theft Auto?
Grand Theft Auto.
Whoa, Grand Theft Gotta Go. Thank you for joining us. That's pretty good.
When we come back, sick hideouts.
Yeah, and disguised civilian.
Disguised civilian. Disguised.
Disguised.